Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, but you can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
First of all, what is your thoughts in general of World Cup draws? Like, just in general, nothing like too specific. Like, just in general, what are your thoughts of the World Cup draw?
I think that in general, what it's supposed to be, it's like a huge gathering, like we just discussed, right? It's been a while where all the former players, executive, anyone that's kind of involved in world soccer kind of get together and like, hey, here's my friends. This is the friendly kickoff. Mm-hmm. So usually for us, it's like, you get excited about the song, what's you're going to hear for 6 weeks and who's going to be involved. But that excitement pretty much crashed and burned this one.
I can see that. I think one of my quick, my whole thought process of World Cup draws is it's already an awkward event, in my opinion, because it's literally just, and it's normally for like iconic players that are doing the draw. Obviously, you have the host. There's nothing like, to me, out of the ordinary usually. But in generally, to me, it's a very awkward process where it's just literally them, you see the player just maneuver the balls around. And they pick a whatever country. Hopefully they pronounce the country's name right. And that's also happens across the world. It's not just American specific.
Yes.
But like, I don't know. It's just it is, to me in general, it's just an awkward process. Now I will say the one thing that I noticed that was different about this one versus the last one that was in Qatar, there was the guy that was pulling out the country, and then the guy that was pulling out the group.
Right. Yep.
So that was the only thing that was like, okay, that's a bit different, because normally you had two guys, one on one set of balls, one on the other set of balls. There's no way I cannot say this without sounding kind of weird, guys.
Hey, pause it as much as you need to. Yeah.
But that was, to me, how it has been previously. I think the same thing happened for 2014 and 2018, every other World Cup. I feel like that's always been the same process. It was like, one drew for the group and one drew for the nation that would be featured in it. Obviously, this is a little different. It's the expanded World Cup. We now have 48 teams, not 32. So it is a lot of moving parts, I guess. So maybe because of it being different with more groups, maybe that's why they decided to do it based on your pot number, not so much group and pot number and whatever group you were in. But that was the only thing I thought was different. But either way, I think this process is very awkward.
It was weird too. I think the one where each president or representative picked their country, which that was kind of a little awkward. And I don't remember a time where they had that many politicians or even presidents being that much involved. And it was not planned properly because we were way behind schedule. An hour?
Yeah.
Hour and a half?
So I watched glimpse of it because obviously I had to go do some searching through YouTube to find it. I actually found one that was a French translation. I heard some of the English being spoken about. So I guess I learned French that day.
There you go.
At least I tried. I was like, oh, I know that word. Yep. But no, I think yes, this was a little bit weird. I've never because what I tried to do, because I know I heard a lot of complaints about this one. So I was like, let me look back at Qatar. Let me see if Qatar did anything similar or different. And yeah, like I didn't see any sheiks or anybody from the Qatar government, which is also a very controversial government, by the way. But
it's a trend now.
Yeah, it just seems to be a trend. As a matter of fact, weirdly enough, Carly Lloyd was one of the hosts of that draw. Like Carly Lloyd was essentially the Rio Ferdinand for that, to kind of explain the groups, like the whole process of the draw. And I mean, you had Cafu, Tim Cahill, and this was a name drop, JJ Okocha. I was like, huh, don't remember him. I remember him playing for Birmingham or Bolton. I think it was Bolton. It was Bolton.
Yeah, Sewell Bolton. So you missed your childhood. You missed up that.
I mean, I was only limited with the Premier League.
he was like our Ronaldinho, African Ronaldinho. Let's just put it that way.
Okay.
With a dribble.
So wasn't familiar to this game. I will be watching to give some respect. Gotta show my love to my Nigerian friends. But Cafu, I mean, Brazilian icon, captain.
Yes.
So I mean, there's at least there's that for me. But yeah, so like I remember that. So I was trying to, because I like, once again, trying to see the comparisons to this one versus now. Gianni Infantino is he's just an awkward guy. Like I think he's
living life.
He's living his life. I think the weird making the USA chants, the Canada chants, and the Mexico chants, little different. I know you're trying to get the crowd going, but that was also a segment of the crowd. So it was a weird process. The whole thing was weird. The Village People was there. That's all I really could say about that.
I had no clue what happened to that one, but yeah.
It was interesting. Yes, this was a weird World Cup draw, which is bizarre because I always say it's weird to begin with. But so how do you feel about the complaint of the lack of soccer players?
110%. Because if you watch the previous one, it's like former players, former people that have won the tournament, like captains, legendary, where you're like, oh, we have not seen such person in 10, 15 years. So it's like one of those things where they sort of have their history that they could speak of and they've been there. But I kind of understand how they wanted to do it with the US, kind of maybe try to pick a little bit of, all of the other American sports.
Mm-hmm.
But you put it to a certain way where it almost made it look awkward per se. Because if it was up to me, maybe Tom Brady, even though he's, GOAT in American football, I could probably pick 5 or 6 other NFL players that have more tied to soccer. Like Chad Johnson, Ososhenko, he's a huge soccer guy.
I would have loved
yes.
Ososhenko.
Yeah, and Ferdinand, his comedy thing was, I don't know why they did that. It looks like Hollywood too much.
Oh yeah, when with Iker Casillas, that you're talking about that.
And like the sketch he did, like you're a football player, soccer player. You're not a comedian. I mean, push come to shove,
class of 92, man. You're class of 92.
Yeah. You're already paying Kevin Hart, who is one of the great comedians. Make him do the sketch.
Honestly, a lot of people complain about Kevin Hart. Didn't have an issue.
I had an issue of being like the person that was presenting and all that, but that's his job as a comedian. Mm-hmm. Maybe he should have done that with some of those players and kind of made it. Rio is a defender. We have not seen him being a comedian. There's other guys. Richard from Man City, he's a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
He could have been very funny to do that. I don't think Rio Ferdinand was the right guy, first, to do it. And 2, it's a World Cup draw. Why are you doing a comedy sketch?
Yeah, that was bizarre. I mean, Kevin Hart, I'm sure some people didn't get. I mean, one, if you're living in the United States and you've seen any event, period, Kevin Hart has at least hosted it at some point.
Oh, he's everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, he's very funny. He's comical. So as far as a host goes, I think he was good. I think he was perfectly fine. Rio. Look, you're there to help walk everybody through the process of the World Cup draw. Did he do a good job? As to that extent, yes. I think you're right about the comedic part. Like, let Shaq do it. Let Shaq be funny.
There you go. Yes.
Let Shaquille O'Neal be funny. Tom Brady, I think, yeah, it was a weird pick, but I think as far as like my whole thing was Tom Brady, Shaq, Wayne Gretzky, by the way, which I think was a good pick as far as like having representation for Canada.
Yes.
I was all for that. Aaron Judge was weird. I love Shaq. Shaq for entertainment value was great. I think. First of all, it was just hilarious seeing the ball just look even smaller. So that was like the thing that I liked. Tom Brady, I think is fine just because I think that's a name most people will know, even if you don't watch American football. I feel like most people were like, "Oh yeah, that's Tom Brady." To some, and I mean, of course, you know who Shaquille O'Neal is. I mean, there's
everybody knows. Yes.
I feel like with Aaron Judge, I think that was a missed opportunity to bring a Mexican athlete. That was what was missing to me was you didn't have representation for Mexico. Technically, Chad Ochocinco has Mexican roots, but I mean, you could have had a Canelo Alvarez there. I mean, Checo Perez, he's not busy yet. He's taking a break right now from F1.
And he's boxing. All these sports could have come in, and NHL has a lot of soccer players that I've seen some of their like pre-game when MLS teams go and visit them. They're doing rondo and dribble. I'm like, you have that. Wayne Gretzky was the only Canadian
that you can think of.
Put Kevin Nash. For God's sake, he's a legend in soccer.
Steve Nash.
He was a great pick. Yeah,
Steve Nash
would
have been a great person to represent Canada. I think Wayne Gretzky, as far as like goats, obviously when it comes to hockey, iconic player. I think a lot of Canadians will know who Wayne Gretzky is. I mean, some Americans as well. I mean, hockey's not popular, but yeah, I think if you were gonna go that route of having anybody else that doesn't play soccer, I think that, you're missing out on maybe a Mexican athlete. Like, why didn't we have Mexico represented in that? Because, I mean, when I think of the CONCACAF Gold Cup, when they did their drawings, I mean, you had a Mexican, I believe, a Canadian, which was Dwayne De Rosario. Yeah, like, you had representation of the region. And I think, because, once again, yes, the U.S. is the majority host of the World Cup. The final will be in New Jersey. But you still have Mexico, and you still have this is to me, I don't view it as the USA World Cup. No. I view it as the North American. This is probably one of the once in a lifetime opportunities where an entire continent, besides Australia, could host a World Cup, and that's huge. That's massive, just in general. And I think that was to me, what bummed me out was that wasn't highlighted as much as it should have, especially when we awarded Donald Trump the Peace Award, which I don't know what that meant, but he did something, I guess.
That one, I guess, is that Peace Prize. I guess they will have to determine what really the peace part of it is. And I told a lot of friends of mine, it's like, of all of the soccer players that stop wars, that have become presidents, that have, put treaties together, that have brought continents together, there's a long list of, at least give that to a soccer player that's done something impactful. Like,
I mean, George Weah is literally like the
president.
George Weah is literally the president of Libya.
So, yeah, I mean,
president or
Liberia.
He is the president of Liberia? Or
yes.
Okay.
Yes. And did the Drogba stop the civil war? like there's Rashford feeding the homeless in England and putting some of his money aside. Ronaldo is taking
Sadio Mane building schools in Senegal.
Hospitals. Yes. I mean, there's
while using a broken
I think
iPhone.
That was a miss. Yes. I mean, there was a missed chance because it's like soccer is one of those few
for
sports
the inaugural peace award.
Yes, like come on,
like that's gonna be the image right there. Is just
and that's what people are talking about now.
with a fresh spray tan just comes in. We
Yeah,
got to see the dance. That's the dance was
I saw
featured
that.
during during the YMCA. I didn't really watch what the Village People sang. I'm assuming YMCA. That's the only song.
Yeah, that's. I think that's what it was. I had to go back to work. Yes.
I didn't even know they were still performing. I don't
Everybody's
even
right.
might not be the original members. But I do have one complaint. Of this is the complaints that were said during the World. I do agree with some of the complaints. Maybe a little bit can some be, in my opinion, a bit much, just because I mean I just in general find the World Cup draw just awkward and cringy.
Right.
But yeah, Infantino, man, you topped it though. I didn't think you could make it even more awkward, but you definitely did it. But this was a complaint that I had for 2022 as well. But maybe for 2022 was a little different just because of how urgent I felt like how urgent we had to move because of the fact that we were playing it in the winter. Versus this time. Do you feel like it's too early to be doing this right now?
For 6 months ahead,
I mean,
I'll probably say yes.
like
For certain,
we still have a few spots left that we still don't know who. Like, cause if you look at the groups right now, it's just like it's not complete, right? Because we don't know who's gonna come out of the UEFA Paths and the 2 FIFA Paths.
Yep.
So like that's where I'm like, you couldn't wait till April to like do maybe immediately after the those games were played. Like we have to do this now. Where to me it looks unprofessional, which honestly at this point it's pretty on point for FIFA. So
yeah, and I think it was like logistic wise too, because I think then there's the AFCON, so that means teams has to almost start to make their decision on who's going and who isn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the stadium now that they know who they're going to be hosting. So now they have to make their plans. So I think it was like all of these countries and all logistic wise. But also if you think about it, some of these playoff games are happening in March. So that means based on that, it's then what, March, April, May, and then you have the World Cup.
Yeah.
So that means I think maybe some team might have more advantage knowing who they're playing against, like etc. So I think from what I've heard, it was logistic wise, but also what other leagues as well are playing and not playing. Marseille was playing against Lille during the ceremony in France.
That's right. It was on a Friday.
Yes.
Yeah. No.
So it was one of those things, I guess. If you have time, it was the middle of the day for us. Like, how many people you want to come and watch it?
Yeah. Okay, I gotta ask you this because I also this is something that I saw a lot on like just throughout social media was the amount of complaints that I've heard, and this has nothing to do with the draw, but the amount of complaints that people are having with the times of these matches.
Eurocentric times.
Yeah.
Yep. They've not learned from the Club World Cup.
And I think the one thing is I literally woke up at like 2 a.m. to watch
Japan,
to watch Brazil take on beat Germany in the World Cup final. If I could do that and then go to church immediately after, if I could do it at like the age of what was that 2002. So
we won't age you.
10 years. I was 9. I wasn't even 10 yet. I was 9 years old, and somehow I woke up early in the morning, being like shook by my dad to watch because I gotta watch Brazil to beat Germany, and so like if I can do it, you guys can stay up till 2 a.m.
I think it's just then some that maybe have not been used to. We've done it for Japan 2002, right? That we had to wake up crazy hours. So maybe we're used to that because we have to follow the sun, like they say, on the time. But I think it's one of those other experiences that maybe not everybody culturally have experienced. The different time zone, that means you have to wake up or stay up late. I mean, I'll do that for the AFCON as well.
Yeah, I think for me it was just that like how people complain that like Americans think the whole world revolves around them, which is not That's not false.
sure.
I definitely agree with that notion. But there is also those Europeans that I feel like the sentiment is also roughly the same.
You're going to get yourself in trouble now.
It's okay. It's okay. It wouldn't be my first time.
We're used to it.
But yeah, to me, my only complaint really is just like it just looks weird when you look like, for example, Group A, right? It's Mexico, South Africa, South Korea, and then whoever wins UEFA Path D. It's like it just doesn't look complete.
Who is that guy?